How you going? Lewis Burns here, lewisburns.com. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on setting up Filezilla. Keep your eye on the cursor. Basically I'm going to set up a FTP account to connect to the server so I can download files, HTML or HTM files like these ones, so that we can download those from the server, from the file that I have allowed access to, and we'll be able to download these and edit them. So what I want to say here is that basically you've got these two boxes here within Filezilla. These files on this side are all on the server, they're not on the computer. This is just information from the server. That's where, well, they're on the internet, so that's how the internet can access them. And this side is a file that I've created on the computer. I put it in the D drive. I called it 2Cuz FM, which is the radio station. So I'm going to connect to that using a generic FTP account that I created, and this shouldn't take too long. Alright, basically what you got to do, up the top here in the corner you got two little drop down menus, or one drop down menu, that's a drop down menu, and this one actually opens the dialog box where you can set up new accounts. In here you can set up as many as you want, different sites. So basically if you've got files on another site or another server, you can set up another account and configure this Filezilla to go to the other server and pick up those files when you're working on them. So that's the reason we want to fill this in as opposed to using these, because they're quick connect boxes, and by using them, the problem we could have is that the file that we download could end up in the wrong place. So really what you want to do is make sure you create a designated file, and then make sure that Filezilla uses only that file on your computer, because when it connects to the server you'll only have access to the files that you're allowed to use or change anyway, the ones that are editable by the users. Okay, so I'll just say that again. This side is on your computer, this side is on the internet. So if you're putting something online, you're taking it from here, this side, and putting it over that side. We'll get to that shortly. So let's create a new site and click on this button here, new site, and I'm just going to call it, I'll do one of mine, I'll just call it Lewis, and then in here you're going to need your host. You'll get these details from your server or your wherever you started your account. I'm with NetBurns, so I think there's thousands of them, but anyway, no doubt you got a server and they've given you details. This is where you put them. Your host, in here I put ftp.lewis.com. That's my host. Leave the port empty because it'll select the correct port on its own. This has got to say FTP file transfer protocol. The other one is SFTP, which is secure file transfer protocol. I'm not up to speed on that yet. When I know more about it, I'll let others know. But I believe that this is going to be compulsory soon. Yes, use plain FTP. The logon type will be normal. This is where you put your information. So whatever information they've been sent, it's been sent to you, you put it in here. You'll have a username. I'm going to put my username in. I'll just chuck this one, and then I'm not telling you what that is. Okay, so that should get me in, but don't click on anything yet. What we want to do is go up to this tab up the top here, advanced, and then this is where we're going to set up our default local directory. So basically we're going to make a file. If you haven't already created it, we're going to create a file that when this program grabs all of these files over here and pulls them down to here, they're going to all be in the same folder and they're not going to get lost. So this program will keep them all in the same folder as long as you work within Filezilla. So the default directory is going to be whatever you want to make it. I think I've already created one, so I'm going to go computer and I put it in my D drive because it's on the computer, and that way if I get any disconnections from the network I've still got it like close. I'd advise you to do the same unless you've got a really big website that takes up too much room. So I'm connected to, I'll just check, I'm connected to myself, so I better just put, I'll just chuck it in here. I've already created one. I'm just going to use that root folder. Actually I will create a new one. All I did was I'll just get out of that escape. All I did to create a new folder, you can click on there, make a new folder, and it'll create a folder within that directory, and you can name it, or you can just get back to where it was, the directory, or there's the new folder. The other way of doing it is right click on the actual directory and it'll give you that option there too. A lot of options, but there's the other option there. That saves going looking for the make a new folder button, because sometimes you can't find the damn thing. Okay, so there, new folder. That's the way you do it. We don't need them yet, so we'll delete them. Yes. Delete. Yes. So I called that account Lewis, this account. So I'll just create a folder, call it Lewis, so I know that they're supposed to be, you know, in sync, so to speak. So I'll create the folder. I could have just changed it, I know. I just try and make sure I do all the steps. Alright, there's the folder Lewis. That's the directory we're going to put all our files in, and I'm going to click on OK. There, when we get all our folders down, if this works, they should all, once this will tell us up here, this is your log. So once you click on connect, that's going to start trying to connect to the server, and if everything's cool, if everything's okay, you'll get this message at the bottom of when it's finished. That'll say directory listing successful. So let's see how we go. We'll click on connect. Bang. I've had a previous session open. You can choose to open a new session and keep the other one open. I'll just show you what happens if you do that, or you can just abort the session that's open and connect to this one. I'm going to open a fresh one so you can see the difference. Okay, so there you got, first we'll watch all this. See this? Directory listing successful. We've connected to the server. Here's all the files that I have access to is my passwords. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect again from the server, and that's basically it. Like if you've got access to folders, then you can pretty much navigate through those folders. This folder here, I should mention though, the public HTML folder, which is go back again to the main directory. Now I've got all these directories in here, but this one is the one where all the files that are available on the internet are going to be. So all the stuff that's available to people on the internet. This is really I've got access to every single file on my server pretty much through that password, so I better go change that and sort that stuff out. And the other thing is, okay, now let's assume that you've connected to the server and you can get your files. Actually, that's about it. All you need to know, that's all you need to know at this point to connect your files, to connect to your server so that you can set up your root directory on your computer. So we've set up the root directory. You connected to your server. and you've got your files in front of you, what you can pull down if you want. Now there's easy ways to do this. I'm just going to fiddle around here just to show you a few things. There's two ways of doing it. This directory is empty, so just for instance, if I want to bring down this directory, I just pull it over and drop it in, drag and drop. That's pretty much all it is. And then once you've got it in your computer down here, you can open it. If you've got files in there that are HTML files or other files that need to be edited, then you can open them and edit them. Now my next tutorial is going to be about editing HTML files within Word and then uploading it. So basically, like if somebody builds your website, or if I build your website, I can give you access to one page so that you can make the daily updates. A lot of people need a lot more updates on pages that their pages become a little bit stagnant, I suppose, because they can't get onto their web designer to upload the changes. So this is a good way of giving people access to files that change regularly, like news updates, that sort of thing. Anyway, I think I raved on a fair bit about that. I hope you got the message. If you've got any questions, just email me. Oh, and click on like if you can, if you don't mind, or I don't mind if you subscribe to my channel as well. That's all good networking. Good luck, and all the best with your file transfer. That's the end of that. Stop.